Remember the time when you wanted more. Remember the time when there were people in your life that did not believe in you. Remember the time when you honestly gave up on the possibilities of the uniqueness that you had inside. Remember there was a time that you complained so much, but yet did so little. There comes to a point in your life that you must recognize that there's a little bit more that has to be done than just complaining about it. You have to realize that you don't have any other opportunities waiting for you.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Gani, and we're here on 910 Sports TV once again. Every single time first, because without him, this would not even be possible at all. And God has been blessing us more and more with opportunities over the last 6 years that me and my partner in crime, you know what I'm saying, my right-hand man, Mr. Cowboys, everything, Jacob the Great. What's going on, fam?
What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Glad to be in the land of the living.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so we got our newcomer, you know what I'm saying? I can't call him the rookie because, he's been doing it for a minute himself, but he a rookie on our show right now. We still breaking him in, you know what I'm saying? we got Coach Lamont T. Goins, you know what I'm saying, in the building. What's going on, brother?
Hey, you know what? I'm just happy to sign this 10-day rookie contract and just hope I can extend it. But good evening to everybody.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So, Jacob, I'll go ahead and let you introduce this young man and we get this doggone interview cracking.
All right, man. We got standout defensive tackle out of
Oh,
Mooresville High School, Mooresville, South Carolina, Mooresville, North Carolina, excuse me, in the great state of North Carolina, man. Committed to Shaw University, and man, he's just a young man that's goal driven, got ambitions, and he loved the gridiron. Welcome to the show.
Thank y'all for having me. You feel me? Very appreciative of this opportunity.
Right, right. So, man, let's go ahead and jump into it. So when people ask you this, now this is $1 million question for many. Who is Skyz Carr?
Who is Skyz Carr? Skyz Carr is a. If you had to ask me who Skyz Carr is a guy who never backs down, a guy who'll work for everything that he wants to achieve in life, and no matter what comes his way, like he just won't back down. He's just that guy who's gonna keep fighting until he gets what he wants, and that's why I feel who Skyz Carr is on a personal level, because me just being me, like I won't stop being me. If you try to get in my way, I'm gonna keep going because I don't care. If I want it, I'm gonna get it, and that's how I just been my whole life.
Okay, okay, great, man. So, and me and you had a brief conversation on the phone earlier that we,
Yes, sir.
and a lot of defensive tackles are way taller than you and way
hmm
bigger. You about what, 6 foot, about 260,
Yes, sir.
6 foot about 260. Uh, but but you but you own the position. So and 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 from what I read upon you in different columns, from from the max preps
Yes,
and
sir.
from the huddle and just different different people that write a column on you after you play certain teams.
hmm
They state that you were forced to be reckoned with, on their field. So talk about how you got into football.
Actually, the crazy thing is, I really just started playing football not so long ago. Because starting off, I played for a team called Mooresville Bulldogs. Shout out to them because without them, I probably would have never got into football at all. But it's like I was pretty undersized as a kid, so I started out late. I started out when I was like 10, when everyone else was started playing like when they was like 5, maybe even 4. I just started out late because I was kind of premature. I was probably like five, five, probably like 5 foot on the dot. Everyone else way older than me, way taller than me. So what really got me into football, of course, the Bulldogs. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I sucked. I was terrible. I was bad, but I didn't really know any better because I never really played sports. I was the kid that always liked to stay indoors, in the AC, watch a little Cartoon Network, eat chips all the time. But one time, I think it happened in middle school. I don't even know what happened. I just think a switch just turned on, and after that, I just started falling to the love of the sport, and then came to another little league team called Powerhouse. They got my skills right and all that, and that's how like I actually became friends with most of my teammates in high school because most people on my team they played on Powerhouse, and that's how we all like had a click. And then yeah, middle school Powerhouse is where I started falling to the love of the sport, and that's yeah pretty much it right there. And that's all she wrote.
Okay. Okay. So was defensive tackle the first position you ever played? What was your first position you ever played?
That's a difficult position because I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if he watching this, but his name Coach Johnny. They didn't know where to put me because when I'm telling you, I was terrible. I was terrible. I was that kid out there. You ain't know where to put me because I was what they call raw, not in the good way, in the bad way. I was out there making little turf castles. Like that's how bored I was on the field. So they try to put me everywhere, which they thought I could fit. But if I do remember correctly, I think I started out playing D line from the jump. Cause I always had my hand in the dirt. So yeah, I think I did start out just playing defensive line, O line.
Okay. 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 So once you understood the game of football and once you started loving it, man, what was your first experience to let you know that you said to yourself, I can really do this?
Uh, it actually happened like last year or my junior year in the summer with my old defensive line coach because coming up from JV because we already had like a stacked defensive line, so they didn't really need me, and it kind of discouraged me a little bit. But that one summer, because I did wrestling, so we went to like a Appalachian State camp, and then I came back to they saying, "Skyz, we just not gonna start you. We just not gonna start you like for the summer and all that." And that kind of like took it out of me. Cause I'm like, dang, what do I do now? Because they thought since I was kind of like on the shorter end versus all these big offensive guards and centers, all that, I wouldn't really thrive like that. But I just kept showing my butt in practice. All of a sudden, my defensive line coach, he's saying, "Okay, Scott, we're gonna have you running with the first group." I started killing in the first group, and then we had a scrimmage against Grimsley, and all of a sudden, my coach he just said, "Guys, I'm gonna start you for the day." And then if y'all saw my film versus Grimsley, that's all y'all need to see. I was dominating all day out there. My coach said, "You know something, Skies, you're gonna be our official starter for like the whole season until like otherwise." And yeah, that's pretty much it right there.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. Coach Goins.
Well, listen, you know what? It's not every day that you get somebody with a NIL name like Sky, right? So let me toss this NIL vision I just had on you. So when you go in there, you're gonna get that NIL deal. Make sure you tell them that your tagline is gonna be "Sky is the limit," right? So
Yeah.
you just heard that live right here on 91 the sports show. So, but here's my question. You know, just
Mhm,
coming off the great Jacob the Great, want you to tell our viewing audience,
mhm.
where does the hunger, when I say hunger, when you put your hand down in that dirt and you're looking across, you're not listening for the snap count, you're going off that motion, where does the hunger come from?
The hunger is me just wanting to dominate because I don't care who in front of me because I've been underrated my whole life. I've been kind of like the second option my whole life. So it's like I got something to prove. Like till this day, I feel like I got something to prove. So like I don't care about what you're saying. I'm gonna get to that quarterback. I'm gonna get to your running back. And if I don't know none of that, I'm gonna do whatever I can to embarrass you. Because trust me, I love it. I'm not trying to sound like no villain. I love it when the game of football until the other person leaves their eyes. Like they don't even love it no more. And that's like where I thrive. Because if I know I can get you like that, oh, it's gonna be a field day that whole game. I don't even talk trash either. I don't even talk trash. I just let my play talk for itself. So that's really where the hunger is, because like I said, always been second option my whole life, pretty much overlooked my whole life. So if y'all was one of those people who overlooked me, didn't think I was one of the biggest factors on the team, none of that, I'm gonna show you. And I'm pretty sure I showed everyone getting 2 times all conference, 2 times all county, and many more.
Wow. Wow. All right. So I'm going to put you on the spot before I kick it over to Icon E. So if you had to tell us who you're pattern your game at, who do you look at the collegiate level, NFL, if you could put us, take us there. Who's your guy? Who's your guy on Sunday, Saturday or Sunday?
Obviously, I study undersized guys. I'm an undersized guy myself. I can't just sit out here studying Chris Jones and all that because it's pretty much unrealistic for our body types. But people who I study, Aaron Donald, obviously
Mm.
the GOAT. But the one person who like, if you see him and you see me side by side, you could tell I get most of my stuff from him. His name is Kalijah Cansey, 6 foot D tackle coming out of Pitt, just like Aaron Donald too. Crazy quick off his get off, just like me. All that. I
Excellent.
study I study him, and I also study a pretty underrated guy on the Penn State defensive line. He's 6'1". His name is Zane Durant. If y'all don't know nothing about him, I'm telling y'all, that boy, he a dog. I study after him too. And if we want to get like all the way back in the day, I think his last name is Jones. I don't know if it's Chandler Jones. I'm pretty sure it is though. He played for the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Donald even said he studied from him too. He was a pretty undersized guy too. So those are the 4 main people who I like to study uh, to get where I'm at right now.
That's excellent. Excellent, man. So I commend you, man. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna kick it over to the one and only Icon E.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was making sure because I kept getting some stall. I wasn't know if it was on my end or y'all end. But anyway, so the big question is when nobody asked yet is how did you get the name Skyz to begin with?
Man, crazy thing is, a lot of people ask me, "Is that your real name?" And yes, that is my real name. That's my real name. But crazy thing, I can't even tell you. It's just I always had the name Skies. Like at first, I didn't even think my name was real. But one thing I will say that my father told me, because my youngest brother named True, the second behind me is named Chance, and my name's Sky. So he said all of our names kind of got meanings. Mine's obviously Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Like the roof is high for you. My brother Chance, that speaks in itself. Like take a chance in everything you do. And my brother True, stay true to yourself. Stay true to what you do. So if I had to tell you, obviously Sky's the limit because the roof is high for anybody, including myself.
Excellent.
Okay, okay, okay. So I know you said you started playing football late, but I
Mhm.
see you got that kind of dog. You got that dog in you. I can hear it in your voice and your demeanor. So what was you doing? What was other thing that you was doing that gave you that dog? Because being you started football so late. So what? Because having a dog is not something you create. It's something that's just
Mm.
in you. So where did
Mhm.
that come from for you to have a dog? And because it sounded like you would be competitive anything you did. So what
Mhm.
what 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 got you that?
Man, what got me that dog down in Statesville, North Carolina, like not far from here at all. When my grandma was alive, she had it was like that was called the cousins' house over there because all my cousins was down there. It was like 13 of my cousins over there. You had to be tough when you went down there all the time. So like we used to play throw them up, bust them up all the time. Like I said, I was the smallest one. Smallest one. We used to be in there scuffling all the time. So like, and down here in Mooresville, I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty much kind of only child a little bit. Two of my older brothers lives with me, they like 20 in their 30s. And I'm only 18. So you can tell how young I was. So like when I got down there, that's where I had freedom. And that's where I kind of got that dog type mentality and all that. Because when you went down there, you had to be strong minded because Statesville, that ain't nothing to play with down there. If you've been to the side of Statesville where my family kind of was raised a little bit, you'll see what I mean. So it's like that's where I give it to my cousins. They gave me that dog in me whenever I was getting jumped, getting beat up by them early in the mornings, getting tossed around. It builds your character a little bit. So yeah, that's why I said I'll build my dog mentality.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So it sounds like to me your dad was in your life heavy. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'll say so. I'll say so.
Okay, so well, him being in your life in any capacity at all, just kind of talk about the importance because I know I'm pretty sure you got friends and people around you who don't have father figures in their life or don't have their
Mhm.
dad around. So just talk about the importance of having your dad around in any capacity, whether it's giving you advice, being supportive, whatever it is.
With having my dad in my life, now this is actually gonna be difficult to say, but I actually got like two dads. Now let me explain how because y'all might be saying, what do you mean? So with how I was, my real mama and my real dad, they live in Statesville, North Carolina. Like I said, down the street, not a far drive at all. Right now, I actually live with like my cousin, but I called her my mom because she raised me since I was 6 months, and I live with her husband, who I also call my dad. And basically, I was birthed. Something happened into the system. Had to go to foster care. My real mom called my mom I'm living right now. Can you go get Skyz? And after that, you feel me? I kind of went back and forth between families and all that. But having both dads, it's like I got a one up on people. It's like they teaching me every day how to become a man, all of that. And yeah, it's a great experience. And I will never say I love one more than the other. I'll never say that because even though one he ain't in my life as what I would wish, he still tries. He still comes around when he can. He still calls me when he can and all that. But having a father figure in his life is very important because it teaches you a lot in life of how to be a man. You feel me? So yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay, okay. Well, Jacob.
Well, the importance of what you just stated is definitely because some young men have no man in their life at all,
Uh-huh.
and even though that you have two men in your life, that's great. Now, when it comes to you, man, what type of teammate are you? How do
What
your
type of
peers
teammate?
view you?
I'm the
Yeah,
teammate.
yeah,
I'm
because
the
I'm pretty
teammate.
sure that you that people people will tell you how they view you, and so from what I'm reading, as far as on people writing about you, they always say about your leadership skills and how you're such a motivator and 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 how you the one to tell your other teammates time is now. Ain't no
Yeah.
waiting around. So talk about you being a teammate and talk about your leadership skills as well.
Now with me being a teammate, I don't lie. I'm kind of a goofy teammate. Like everyone should have that one teammate where like you can joke around with them, but I know when to lock in on the field and all that. And I won't lie. If I notice my team is lacking, because you know what they say, Dogs have a different type of language. Hey, even though we might sound like we hate each other, cussing each other out, trust me, if you a dog, you would only understand because dogs understand a dog type language. So yeah, I of course I'll jaw my teammates, I'll cuss them out, but it's only because you ain't doing what you need to do for us to win this football game. And I know that you got that dog in you. And if you sit here and get upset, hey, I'm sorry. I thought you just had that dog in you. So I'm guessing I'm mistaken. So do what you gotta do. Do what you want to do because I thought you just had that dog in you, but my leadership skills, my fault. My leadership skills, I feel like they coming along because I coming up, I wasn't that type person to like really say anything and all that. But now like being a senior, being one of like being one of the best people on the field, people looking up to you, especially the JV players. Like I'll definitely say my leadership skills that came a long way. I'll be coaching like the people who are going to take my position when I'm gone. I'll be coaching them up a little bit, telling them what to do, how to get their get off right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure if you ask people, they'll say my leadership it came a long way than what it was before.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And so from you know, I play defensive tackle as well. But but defensive tackle is one thing. Defensive tackle is one thing, but it take a real dog to play that nose guard position.
Hmm.
So which do you think is harder, defensive tackle or nose guard?
Nose guard, nose guard, especially
Yeah.
when you're like,
Yes.
especially when you're like me, because nose guards. I feel like if you play nose guard and you dominate that, you could probably play any position on the D line good. Because nose guard is gonna test like how battle test you is. It's gonna test like where your heart's at for real. And with me, obviously a lot of people they don't see me as a nose guard because I don't really got the body type for a nose guard. But the fact that I was still able to do what I do and still get like 75 tackles, 5 sacks, 15 tackles for loss for the season at that position, like that should say a lot. But nose guard, hands down, because you're gonna get double teamed 24/7. You might get that one luxury play to where you are one on one, but that comes rare. That comes very rare. Defensive tackle, three tech, you're most likely gonna get like those more one on one type pass rush opportunities. But nose guard, you don't really get that luxury. Nah. Especially in a three-man front.
Now
No.
now I'm gonna say this right here. I can remember watching ball with my dad as a little boy,
Hmm.
and there was a big fella for the Washington Redskins that they used to rotate back and forth. Sometimes he would beat the D tackle. Sometimes they rotated the nose guard on certain plays.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you this right here, man. I have never seen too many better than Dexter Manley, and
Mhm.
Hmm.
that's a fact, Jack. And that's a fact, Jack. You know, Dexter Manley was one of the most vicious people that I ever see come off that ball, man. He was fast, he was quick, he was strong, and he could fight through the center and the guard. Whichever they're
Yup.
running, whether 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 they're running a 49, a 47 right sweep, uh, a 46 power left sweep. Dexter Manley can come through that line. So when somebody tell me that they can play nose guard, that means that they can play anything on D line. And so
Yup.
just to hear you say that, people your age don't talk about the nose guard position. Just
They
to hear
don't.
you say that you can play nose guard, I'm just blown away. I'm just blown away, man. Like, oh my, man. I'm just blown away. So, coach, going back to you, man.
Well, listen, it's funny. I'm gonna go ahead and go back a couple years. So I was a defensive tackle as well.
Hmm.
But again, and it's ironic. Here's three of us on. I guess Iconi was in the backfield. But here's my question. So, Mr. Carr, so you can't be on the field without taking care of them academics. So if you don't mind, tell us what is your favorite class and why is that your favorite class?
My favorite class,
Yes,
English.
sir.
It's English because my mom's an English teacher. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. All right.
so it's like I'm gonna let it be known right now. Sometimes I did come through with the progress report, and if it's below a B or an A, my mom looks at me. Now, Skyz, I'm an English teacher. This should make no sense. And I look at her. I'm like, you. I don't know. So yeah, it's like you. I definitely had to pass that English, or I'm definitely getting like some judgment, especially when my mama used to teach down at Mooresville High School. So all the teachers they know her. So like, if I fail English or pass it with like a low grade, they gonna look at my mama being like, what was you teaching them? So like,
Gotcha.
yeah, English is definitely my favorite subject.
All right, that's awesome. And again, what you talk about leadership, I'll just toss this out for what it's worth. That will be a huge component going forward as a leader. If they can see you take care of the classroom,
Mhm.
everything on the field seems like it'll be secondary. So again, just I just appreciate hearing what you're telling us, and just but here's the thing before I kick it over to Icon E. So you did say, and I know Jacob the Great said you headed to Shaw University
Yes,
in
sir.
uh, in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's
Mhm.
funny. My freshman year in 1984, I attended Shaw University. So
Oh,
always remember, go Bears, right? So with that,
there you
I'll kick
go.
it over to Icon E.
And it's funny because it's a good segment, Coach, because I have to a couple of my best friends from high school. Both of them went to Shaw University, or whatever, that I'm still friends with to this day. They went to Shaw University. But I want to go back a minute, because when with Coach, you said, well, Icon must have been in the backfield. Well, I was like Skies. I grew way late in life, so I was like 5'2", 5'3" until the 12th grade, and then I jumped to 5'9", 5'10". So all my growth was way late. So I had to stop playing. I started early in football, but stopped early as far as like middle school. But I played
Mhm.
mainly like in middle school. I was playing like corner, safety. I was playing linebacker. I was on the line. Like, it was funny because I bumped into my coach years later after that, and he was like, I said, "Well, coach, I was one of the smaller ones on the team." He said, "But you probably had one of the biggest hearts." You
Oh,
know what
hey
I'm saying?
now.
He said, my small kid. He said my small ones are one of the ones that had the biggest hearts. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
I wasn't afraid to jump in front of a big running back that looked like Derrick Henry and try to tackle him, whether I got ran over or not. I'm gonna try to make that tackle. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
uh, but anyway, talk about that whole thing of choosing Shaw University. Because, like I said, it's probably one of those schools that people don't know a lot about, but it is a
Mhm.
great academic school, and I know that you could go there and make a big impact on the field. So just talk about that process.
So in the recruiting process with Shaw University, actually, it's pretty funny. My uncle, he just woke me up one day. Hey, I'm gonna take you to Shaw. Now, I did have a few teammates or former teammates who went to Shaw, like my cousin Jay Wilson, cornerback for Shaw right now, and I also had another guy named Elijah Wilson who now attends John C. Smith. So I'm over here. I'm thinking about Shaw. I'm like, that school in Raleigh that my teammates was going to. He said, "Yeah, that one. Get up. I'm gonna take you." All right. So got dressed. We went 2 hours down the road. Went to Shaw, but little did I know the reason that he told me that we're going to Shaw because he knew one of the coaches, and I went in with no offers, no none of that. So, and it was actually right after a game that we had that Friday against Providence. So the Shaw coach, he was the defensive coordinator. He saw me, met me, and then he said, "Hey, you look like you got some good size on you and all that." And I said, "Yeah, coach." So that's when he had me talk to the other coaches. And then they told me, so I heard y'all play Providence last night. Tell us how that went. I told them my game. They liked it. And then flash forward 2 weeks down the line, I think we're in playoffs now. Yeah, we're in playoffs. My coach calls me to the office before we go out there for practice. Yo, what's good, coach? He's exactly how Coach Mayo was. Skyz, did Shaw already offer you? I don't know, Coach. Why? So he showed me the text message with the same guy that I was talking to at Shaw. He just says, "Oh yeah, I gave one of your players a offer. His name is Skyz." So that being my first offer, I ain't gonna lie, that whole day, that whole practice, I was jumping around. I didn't even pay attention to the drills that day because everyone already had like their offers established, all that. That being my first offer, obviously you could tell the excitement. And with Shaw being my biggest offer, the one that showed a lot of interest in me, I said, you know something, I'm going to become a Bear. And on my visit, I committed right there on the spot. That's all I remember. I just committed right on the spot, and I said, Coach, hey, wherever y'all need me, y'all can put me because I'm gonna get to that ball no matter what. I'm gonna get to that running back, that quarterback, that fullback. I'd even get to the tight end. I said, put me wherever you want, Coach, because you're gonna get a dog at the end of the day. Like the money that y'all put into me, exactly what I told them. Y'all gonna get y'all money's worth. Trust it. So yeah, that's the reason why I picked Shaw though, because they showed love. First ever offer, one of the biggest offers I got at the time. So I said, you know something, let me just go ahead, rock with them, and show them what I got.
Excellent.
Well, let me ask you a question. So I'm about to name drop, but I'm gonna see if this might help you if you know your football, your NFL football. So
Uh-huh.
I got a great nephew. I got a great nephew that plays for the Detroit Lions, and he
Hmm.
plays in nose tackle position. He just earned
Yeah.
his second contract, so obviously, he doing his job because he just earned almost $100 million contract on his second contract. So I'm gonna see if you know the name, if you know any players on Detroit Lions,
Hmm. You want me to just start
because
name dropping players?
well, they're on Detroit Lions. Any of the defensive players that you may know, but I'm talking about on the line, on the D line. Let me see if you
On the
know
D
the
line,
player's name.
I know Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson was the big one. Uh I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to the to Detroit, because I'm a Rams fan, I do not pay attention to them. As I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so that's fine. So this is a player that you could stay, and he actually went right down the school, right down the street from you. He went to State. He was a D tackle at State, the NC State. But he played. He's a
Oh,
D line. He basically the nose tackle for the
mhm,
Detroit Lions. So and whatever. So that's somebody else you can study because he's probably about your size. He's like 6 feet tall, and he's probably maybe about now he might be. I think he's over 300 now, but I think when he
mhm,
first got there, he's probably about maybe your weight. Maybe you know what I mean. But he put on a lot of weight once he got to the NFL for the
yeah,
position. Because at State they had him up and down the line. They had him like nose tackle. They had him, coming off the edge. They had him up and down that line. So and he ended up getting picked in the third round. So that's just somebody that you can actually study. That's in your probably your same weight class and height and the
mhm,
whole nine.
Excellent.
But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there to you, or whatever. Because I will say this before I throw it back to Jacob. Your personality reminds me a lot like of a Draymond Green, but like in a good way. It's the confidence that you have in yourself and the way you kind of, your demeanor. But
mhm.
that's what I'm seeing every time you talk is that Draymond Green type of confidence. But go ahead, Jacob.
So, Sky, do you remember we were talking earlier today, and I told you about the
Sir,
young man named Aleem McNeil?
sir.
That's his nephew. That's the nephew that we're talking about.
Oh, okay, okay. See, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that, but I thought it was a different team. That's why I didn't want to say nothing. My fault,
Yeah,
but yeah, he definitely done
right.
reached out and told me. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely
Yeah,
know
so
Yeah,
that.
that's
so
cool.
he's a
Cool.
he's a great guy to study, and like I told you, man, one of my favorite D linemen was, you know, I just I just like the way Warren Sapp just
What's
didn't
up?
see nobody but he didn't see nobody but the quarterback. That's all he seen. He was on the field, just the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so man, I think that you're gonna do well at Shaw, man, but I think they're gonna beef you up. I think working your technique, and like I told you before, man, if you want to work on that foot speed, man,
Jump rope.
get you a jump rope. Do you at least 100, 200 jump ropes a day, man? That's gonna
Yeah.
that's gonna work on that foot speed, man, and 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 just and just make sure you put plenty of greens in your body, man. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
you know, and make sure that you understand what it is.
Mhm.
There's a lot that enhance the thought process, enhancing the thought process on that football field in the heat of the moment when you're adrenaline pumping. That's a that's a key factor because no matter what people tell you, a person always have in the world they can buff, they can have good sides, but football is a thinking man's game.
Mhm.
You definitely gotta outthink the person that's between you. And then when you when you got to face the center and that pulling guard, man, you got to be quick on your feet and smart in your mind.
Do. Sure do.
And I always, I look, yes sir, yes sir. So going, yes sir. So I thought we see you do well, man. And I'm definitely gonna keep up, but I'm gonna pass back to going.
All right, I appreciate that, Jacob. Hey, so here's the thing. Iron always sharpens iron. That's what
Mhm.
we're about here on 910 Sports. So I'm gonna give you a name. Make sure you write this down. His name is Coach Bobby Collins. He is the head men's basketball coach at Shaw University. You let
Okay.
him know that you on our show. He was actually one of my best friends. Grew up with him. He was my best man when I got married. He is a very, very close friend of mine. So if you need anything if you need anything on that campus, you go see Coach Collins. Also, Coach Ken
Yeah.
Spencer is the assistant basketball coach. He and I went to the same high school, and he and I went to the same college. So
Okay.
both of those guys are solid individuals. You let them know you know Coach Goins, and if you need something, those guys will be able to take care of you. Okay. Now, here's my recommendation: as a football player, there's a book that you must read before you step on the college campus, and I'm going to
What's
toss
that?
this out. It is Elevate and Dominate, and you might have already read it, but it's Coach Deion Sanders' book. It is absolutely dynamic. And just like Akani said about that, what I like about you is your confidence. And some people don't wear that cologne, but you wear it and you wear it well. So again, best of luck for you and your future endeavors. And always, like I said, the NIL deal, the sky is the limit.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I'll kick it over to Akani.
So let me ask you this. So we like to talk about academics on here. So what
Woo.
if when the football career is over with, no matter when that is, 10, 15 years in your career or after college, whatever it is, what's your fallback plan academically?
I fall back playing academically. Well, the, depending on if I'm being honest, I really want to stay in the sports field and really become a coach, and so I can teach like the youth and all that what I had, because obviously I can't play no more, but I still want to do what I love. And if you do work your way up to where you could like coach for the bigger leagues, you can still make like good money. Like you don't always got to be a player in the league just to make bread. You don't. My mama actually had to like get that through my head. You don't have to be just a player in the league just to make a check. You can be a water boy. You can be the people that give them towels. You can the coach. The coaches make a lot of money. The trainers a lot of money. So my mom always told me, if you don't work a trade, I could always still do what I love. It's just I won't be on that field. And sometimes people do got to get that through their minds. One of these days, you ain't gonna be on that field forever. So it's either you're gonna have to find a regular job, you're gonna have to use that major or degree that you got, or you could do what you still love. It's just you got to get through your mind. You won't be on that field. And so I feel like with my mentality, I feel like I can coach what I know. So yeah, I think I would want to be a coach after everything's said and done.
Well, one thing I can see also, you personality wise, you could be a commentator, anchor.
Yep.
You could be,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? I could see you on Sunday mornings or Saturday mornings or whatever afternoons, commentating the games, and I can even see you on a show like like a undisputed or like a first take type show,
Mhm.
talking the game after you retire or whatever, because you got the kind of personality, and of course you're gonna learn more about the game, so you'll be able to talk that talk once that time comes or whatever. And in this world, in the way the world is set up now, you can always practice by starting at some point, along your career, your own podcast or whatever you wanted to do, just to kind of get your chops wet or whatever. I know people try to get on Michael Parsons and certain guys, but it always drives me crazy because I like y'all act like a player just 24 hours. That's all they do. Like they do have a personal
Mhm.
life, and I
Yep.
would rather see a player doing a podcast and in the club getting in trouble or
Yep.
doing or any streets doing something else. So at least
Sure.
people like a Michael Parsons, some of these other guys, Draymond or whatever, at least they're doing something productive with themselves. And what I mean, that they may take 2 hours out of their day or their week. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But
I
anyway,
agree.
brother, I just commend what you're doing. I do appreciate you coming on here. Before we go,
Sure.
is there anything as far as, I know this is usually a Jacob question, but I'm gonna ask it because he might not have want to. I don't know if he's going to even get to it or not. Then we about
Mhm.
to run out. But the community thing, as far as
Yeah.
being in the community, do you have any community interest of helping the community?
The community of Mooresville.
Like, yeah, the community, like it's just giving back, in the community. Or whether
Oh,
it's
for
like once
sure.
you get, yeah.
Of course. I mean, growing up in Mooresville my whole life, I have once I actually make it, I'm gonna definitely like come back and give to the community. With that being the school, with that me helping the streets of Mooresville, anything. Because with me being here my whole life, me seeing everything, me seeing Mooresville grow up along with me, like of course I would want to help because one thing about it, all of my family really came from Mooresville. All my family came from Mooresville. So it's like Mooresville, it's kind of like our roots is deep here in Mooresville. So yeah, I would for sure want to come back, help out the community and all that. And then yeah, I for sure would want to do that. That's something I would definitely like think about and do. Ain't no probably, no none of that. It's a definitely. I'll definitely come back, do what I gotta do.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming on. Just let everybody know where they can follow you, and
Of course.
if anything that you want to information wise you want to put out there.
Y'all can follow my Instagram. It's Scar with two R's dot 58. And I don't really be on Snapchat. I no one mentioned Snapchat, so I'm gonna leave that out the window. But anything out there I want to tell someone though is no matter how overlooked you think you is, just show 'em. Just keep grinding, be who you are, stay true to yourself, and don't give in to the noise. Because trust me, it will pay off. If you really got that dog mentality, it's gonna pay off no matter like who you is. And I promise that. And yeah, that'll be it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, brother. And sky's the limit to you. And hopefully we will be able to catch a game or two. Because you like I said, you're not too far from my hometown. I grew up in Southern Pines, which is Pinecrest High School. I don't know if you ever played them throughout your 4 years, but that's what the area I grew up in. So I'm just excited to see what you do, if
Mhm.
in your future endeavors. But I do appreciate you giving time and actually rescheduling, because it was my fault that we had to reschedule. I can't even remember why I had to
I was all
reschedule,
fine.
but I'm definitely glad you double back with us to do this
Mhm.
interview.
Sure.
So
And I feel like the reason why we're doing it is to reach and she linked me. You know what I mean? Because I seen her post him, and I was like, you know what? Now I'm trying to get a young fella not on Sports TV, and 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 just spotlight him and highlight him a little bit, and so we can see what he got going on. So shout out to your mom, and I definitely appreciate her for
Yeah,
linking it in, and I definitely appreciate you for taking your time out today to come and chop it up with us. We definitely
of
appreciate you.
course, of course, of course.
All right. All right. Well, till next time, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Jacob the Great, Coach Goins, and the great Skyz Carr. And we out of here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Peace out. You guys be.
Peace.